Same thing, sir. Please no further than the table and no further than Laura's row for going off to your right or left. Okay? Whenever you're ready. Yeah, great, thanks. Whenever you're ready.
There's a quote that I saw in a devotion I read a while ago from Howard Thurman. And the quote was, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs, ask yourself what makes you come alive and do that, because what the world needs is people that have come alive." Now, that quote I actually saw in a devotion, which was written by someone who saw it in a book, who was quoting somebody else. But anyway, I'm using this quote because I think can be applicable to my topic today, which is supporting independent study in schools. I think that it's important to give kids a chance to do independent study because it gives them a chance to explore topics that they may be more interested in. There's a statistic I saw online, and it was a survey that I saw, and it said that results from a multi-year college and career readiness survey of 165,000 high school students conducted by Youth Truth, which is an organization which wants to better schools from the view of the students. Found that 45% of students feel positive about their college and career readiness. Now, I think a big reason for that is that they haven't had a chance to explore topics that they're interested in. And another part of that, I think, is because all through school and stuff, they're being told what to do in school, and they aren't as much, in most cases, given a chance to really think for themselves about what they want to do with their lives and things like that. And so I really think that giving kids a chance to do things that they really feel called to do before they get into college or going towards their careers can really be helpful. And so another quote from, dang it, I forgot to write his name down. But I do remember that he's a college professor at Ohio State. It's Frederick something. But he said, this was in a study or a paper that he wrote on independent study, said kids experience, self-pacing, self-discovery, self-appropriation, and self-independence are all central to individual learning to learn. Knowledge is only the verbal imitation of understandings. Understandings cannot be communicated directly, and to the extent that teaching is direct communication, it results in inconsequential learning. Independent study, therefore, is more than merely a fruitful addition to classroom teaching. It is the only learning approach which nurtures self-selection and the relevant, self-execution and self-evaluation of the students. In self-evaluation, the students' perceptions must prevail if reality is to exist for them. So I think that independent study is really crucial for not just for the future of the student, but for the future of the country, because I feel getting into a norm that we live in where we kind of get used to going to school and kind of for lack of a way of not sounding too extreme, having our lives run by school. I think that it's important to know what you're interested in so that you can have a career based more on your passion than what you're told to do. And so independent study can help in this because it gives students a chance to explore possible interests to see if they want to turn it into a career. And again, like I said, I just feel going to school and stuff and just being so used to the usual homework that's assigned and just being told by the teacher what to do gets us in a kind of norm where we get used to being told what to do. And then when it comes to making big decisions like going to college, which is one that most of us will be making pretty soon, we're not as prepared because we hadn't really had a chance to experience something like that before. Now, to get back to that quote that I said at the beginning about doing what makes you come alive, again, I think it could really help change things because, a lot of students at my former high school, what I heard them talking about as a critical thing for what their career would be is the amount of money that they would make from their career. I remember I had a friend who was thinking about being a school teacher or a physical therapist, And I mean, I don't know which one of those they thought that they were better for, but I remember her saying that one of the reasons that she would want to be a physical therapist is because it would make more money than a school teacher would. But imagine what it would be like if people chose their careers based on like them truly feeling called to do it, like them like feeling passionate about the topic instead of just the amount of money, them thinking that that'd be good or better for their well-being in life. There's also something from that example, because the author of that devotion, that was a big moment for him, like to like go find a life with meaning in it, and he applied to college and stuff to get a degree that he would need to live the career that he wanted, and like he didn't like have the money for it at all when he applied, but then later on, like some people had heard about his decision and they said that they were going to pay for his schooling. So the devotion was mainly saying that like, just like tell God what you want to do and he'll take care of how. So what I want to leave you with is actually where this comes in a little bit more, I think. That's loading. Okay. Then what Joe was going to put up there was a quote, so if it doesn't come up soon, I can just talk about it because I remember it pretty well. Yeah, it's working. Okay, but the image that is supposed to be coming up there is a quote from the book by Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go, where he says, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose." And there's more to that quote, but I can't remember the rest of it. But basically what I want to leave you with for today is I want to encourage you to, like, even though, like, school, like, can probably overwhelm us sometimes with all the assignments and stuff, I feel like it's important for us to, like, think about our dreams and think about what we truly feel called to do, because then I think that we can really find more meaning in our life than just, like, gaining material wealth and other things like that.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Jonah. Okay, and now it comes. But
yeah,
let's.
Even though it wasn't the exact one that I tried to pull up.
All right, let's go ahead and Jonah will have the audience members ask you some questions about your topic.
Quote in case you were wondering.
Oh, and we'll see how that goes. So whenever you're ready, audience members, if you have some questions for Jonah, you can go ahead and put that up.
Alex?
What if that true feeling of being called towards something was wrong?
Can you give me an example of?
What if you think that you'd be really good at sociology, but by the time you get there, you notice just how much of a pain it is and you want to do botany? But you spent all your life trying to do sociology.
I'm trying to think. So you were saying, like, feeling like you'd be good at it is what you were talking about? Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of how I can address that. Because I feel like that's kind of similar to where I'm getting at, but it's a little different because, I'm trying to think of a good way to answer this. Like, I feel like, because, like, I can, like, for an example, I can feel like I'm good at a sport or something like that, but I feel like when, like, I really feel called to do something, it's something that, like, I see, like, either, like, potential for change in the world or something like that. So if, like say, like, if you were, I guess how that could apply to that situation, and if this isn't the answer you're looking for, then let me know, but, like, if you, like, felt potential for change in the world of sociology, in the world of, like interactions within groups or whatever, and, like, then you did whatever you could in there, and, like, say you got to a certain point in your life and felt like you'd, like, done everything you could there, then, I mean, going a different route after that, like, finding a different calling, I feel like that can kind of honestly be your call in life, because again, kind of getting back to my one of my last points is in like that devotion that I was talking about. God asked us what we want to do with our life, and then He answers the question of how. So if at first like we think sociology, in your example, is what we feel called to do, but then later we find out that maybe it doesn't call us as much as we thought it would, or maybe did in the past, then God can still answer the question of how botany or whatever you would choose to do with your life could work for your life. So, does that answer your question? Or? Okay.
So you said that people should choose a career based on their passion. So does that mean that money should be completely negated in career choice?
I'm trying to think of a good way to answer that. I don't think it should be as big a factor as people typically make it to be today. I mean, I think it's definitely like, I mean, really I don't think that money should be a very big factor, because I feel like if it's something that you truly love to do, then money won't need to be as much of a factor in it. So, I mean, can and will money affect your career choice? Like, especially in this day and age, probably yes. But I feel like our primary reason for picking our career should be because it's what we feel called to do and what we feel passionate about.
Okay, we'll take one more question if anybody has them, otherwise we need to press on.
So,
Okay, so with independent studies, it's kind of like personalizing your education a little bit. How far do you think you should go with that? Like, should the more broad subject kind of be done away with and you just study in your field and only in that place, or should it be more contained to like 1 or 2 classes, maybe independent study?
Like can you give some examples and stuff like the broad subjects?
if you're going into sociology,
Yeah.
should you still have to take math classes and biology and all of these other classes, or should you just focus on sociology and only sociology?
That's in my opinion, I mean, I feel like if I mean, a lot of like in like the modern schooling and stuff, you know, like to graduate high school, it says that like we like gotta have like a certain amount of credits in various classes and stuff. But I feel like if you really feel like you know what you want to do, then I mean, it's still good to have experience in math and other things like that because it comes up in everyday life. But I feel like again, your focus should be primarily on what you feel called to do. So maybe like even those, I don't want to make it sound like I'm encouraging you to get bad grades. Like even though like school like may emphasize things like math and stuff more, like I feel like we personally can decide to like take more time on like a certain topic that interests us more. Like especially like say you're at a school that doesn't offer independent study, but you're in a class that you like say sociology that like you really feel a calling towards, then you could maybe spend more time like studying that class at night and less time studying math. So I definitely think it's good to like prioritize what things you're studying for your life, like so that can be like focused around what your goals are.
Great, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much, Jonah.